The Monster That Lived on Top of the Hill by Eugene Mathena. There was once a little boy named Jesse who lived in a quiet country town nestled beneath a broad, tree-covered hill. When Jesse was about 11 years old, something extraordinary happened. He made a most unusual friend. One warm afternoon, Jesse had been playing alone behind his house, as he often did, when he first met the creature. To most children, the sight would have been frightening. The being was large and lumbering, with droopy eyes and outstretched arms, resembling the old tales of Frankenstein's monster. But Jesse wasn't afraid, not in the least. He was simply glad to have someone to play with. This creature, this monster, as one might call him, was gentle and kind. He listened to Jesse with quiet interest and showed a sincere care for the boy's thoughts and feelings. They shared many moments together, and every day after school, Jesse would eagerly run outside, hoping to see his friend again. He always knew when the monster was approaching. Long before he saw him, Jesse could hear the cracking of twigs and the snapping of branches beneath the creature's heavy steps. The monster tried to sneak up on him a few times, but never succeeded. Jesse would just laugh and call out, "Got you." At school, Jesse would draw pictures for his friend and couldn't wait to show them when he got home. The monster would light up with joy, touched that Jesse had thought of him during the day. One day, Jesse asked him why he had revealed himself. The monster's answer was simple. "Because you needed me." Jesse tried to tell others about his new friend, but no one believed him. Adults dismissed it outright, saying things like, "You're lying, little boy. You're being bad." Eventually, Jesse gave up trying to explain and simply treasured the time they had together. They would walk the hills for hours. The monster would lift enormous rocks and toss them like pebbles just to make Jesse laugh. Sometimes, he'd raise his long arms and birds would settle on them like branches, chirping softly in the breeze. That summer, Jesse and the monster became inseparable. To a lonely little boy, the monster was the best friend he could ever hope to have. But as time passed, things changed. The following school year, a new boy named Bobby moved into the neighborhood. He and Jesse had much in common and quickly became friends. Jesse began spending more time with Bobby, running and laughing and playing like boys do. One evening, Jesse was playing on his swing set when he heard the familiar sound of twigs snapping behind him. His heart leapt, and he called out. But it was just Bobby, laughing. "No, silly. I'm not a monster." The two boys burst into laughter and went right on playing. Jesse never saw the monster again after that evening. Even now, all these years later, Jesse sometimes wonders where his old friend went. He believes that once he found companionship in Bobby, the monster knew he was no longer needed. And so, quietly and without goodbye, the monster moved on, perhaps to find another lonely child who needed him just as Jesse once had. So if you ever find yourself feeling alone, and you hear twigs and branches crackling behind you, don't be afraid. It might just be the monster that lives on top of the hill. The E&D 2010 by Eugene Mathena. May not be used or distributed in any form without express written permission from the author. Sharing is always okay.